yarn to be held together with like a cotton, and when I cheaped out and didn't get the kit, I got something else from Hirschner's that was like a similar one, like similar weight and stuff. And I actually really like the effect of it being held together. I mean, this pink yarn is speckly, but you can see the yellow poking through, and that adds a little bit of strength to this chenille yarn, because I don't know if you've worked with it before, but it, in my experience, breaks pretty easily.
Yeah.
So it adds strength, and you can see your stitches easier a little bit.
Ah, yes.
So I've got yellow with the pink, and I've got like a light blue with the light blue. Oh, you can see it better on the edge. But anyway, I was frustrated with something. I was like, I'm gonna crochet. And I started another pink one. I forgot the other yarn, and I was like, why is this so difficult? Why can't I see my stitches? So this one does not have the secondary yarn in it, and so I'm on the bottom part of it now, and I was just like, okay, well, in for a penny, in for a pound. So
yeah,
I'm doing them both without, and it doesn't hold its shape as much because it doesn't have the added strength, but we'll see. I might make this one. I ran out of appropriately sized craft eyes, so I might do sewn on eyes for this one. So it's maybe a little more bebe friendly.
Bebe.
We'll see.
Yes.
I have in my Amazon cart like a bag of 100 craft eyes, and I'm like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
But also, it's way cheaper than getting, six at a time from Joann's.
Well, and if you have enough littles in your life that you feel like you're gonna make more stuffies.
I don't, is the thing. But it's a free pattern from Hirschner. No, Hobby. It's a free pattern from Hobby, and I'm like, doesn't say I can't sell it, so maybe I'll throw these up on Facebook Marketplace or Etsy.
Yeah,
Kids love their little smiles. They're so happy.
Your little happy babies.
Yeah.
I mean, I will happily pick up a couple of them from you, because I have nibblings who would love that.
Oh, we'll talk off stream.
Yeah.
Speaking of off stream, Deeb's off stream chimes in to tell us that Google says for her that collective noun for mantas is a fever. So I think it's a fever squadron of manta rays.
Oh, yes.
That feels very disco. Can you make a glittery one?
A glittery manta?
Glitter yarn. Glitter yarn.
I think I might have extra Karen Simply Soft pizzazz or whatever it's called that has the sparkle in. I could use that held double instead of the other stuff.
Nice.
Breaking news.
I might even have pink.
Oh, it's for stingrays.
Fever stingrays, squadron manta rays.
I still think that a disco manta ray would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good idea. I can stash fuss a little more then.
There you go. Because I mean, they're little and cute.
They're adorable.
And I was gonna run out of the secondary yarn faster than the chenille anyway. So.
Well, there you go.
And then next up on my docket, I found a pattern. I've been having a lot of trouble at work, and my boss's boss has been very kind in listening to me. Like, all I do is come to her with complaints. And she's a big Disney fan. And so after I had a little struggle today, I said, hey, what's your favorite Disney movie? She's like, oh, I love Beauty and the Beast. So I found a crochet. I think it's crochet. Anyway, I have it saved on my Ravelry. It's like a bean. He's just a little guy. I'm going to make that for her.
I love that.
That's very sweet.
That is fantastic.
Bean, beast bean.
I love that so much.
Beauty and the Bean.
Yes.
So cute.
And then if the bean doesn't work out, I found a different pattern for like a amigurumi of Mrs. Potts and Chip.
Aww.
That also is cute. But maybe I'll do the bean, and then maybe for Christmas she'll get Chip and Mrs. Potts. We'll see. We'll see if I'm still there at Christmas.
Yeah. And if she's still being cool.
Yeah. That's all I got.
No, it's not.
Oh, Greg has something. Surprise! That was my super secret project that I was working on before. It is a bass. It's a bass bag.
Check out this
Very
bass.
cute, and I love them.
Yes.
So cute.
So he sent this to me. They talked about it last time, and it's got a big old
I love the mouth.
hole because it's a bag that you can put dice in, or a yodeling pickle. I forget what else I put in it. I put herder in
You put
it.
hot sauce in it.
I put hot sauce. It's a hot sauce holder. Yes. So I love it. It lives next to my desk at the end of the dining room table where I work from home. And sometimes it makes appearances on my work calls. I'll be like, talk to the bass.
Because the face ain't listed.
That's right.
Love it.
And when I was in
Yes.
elementary school, it was talk to the elbow because you're not worth the extension.
Wow.
Wow, that's a burn for elementary school. Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Elementary school was a weird time.
Yes,
But
from
yeah,
what I
that-
understand, that's just kind of the truth.
I will drop the link to the pattern for that. The designer is like on a bass kick, and she has like the stuffy version and the popsicle holder version and the baby
Popsicle.
bass version and the tic-tac-toe with the babies on the big bass version. And I think she's working on koozies right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Once you get a taste of the big bass, it's hard to go for anything else.
It's true.
Yep.
Valid.
I will drop that in the Crits&Knits Discord where
Drop
you
that
can find
ass.
all of our goofiness.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice. All right. Well, in addition to receiving Big Bass Crochet in the mail since the last time we got together, I have been working on socks because that's what I
what you
do
do.
now. That's what I do now. Last time I really hurt Danny with my different sized socks, and hopefully I will not make that same mistake ever again in my life. But who knows?
You get
But I
one.
am working. Yeah, it's my mulligan.
That's it.
Right. So I am working on another one from the yarn again from Colorworks. I use the Progress Keepers from I Can See Her, but Ann Tudor. Ann Tudor makes these delightful glass Progress Keepers and stitch markers, and I use them to mark off every 20 rounds, so I know when to stop. And yeah, and so this is in the diffusion colorway. Again, beautiful stripes. I love the bluesies color and whatnot. And so I am almost at the point where I will do my 1x1 ribbing on my second sock. And so maybe by this weekend, I'll cast on my first sock, which is wonderful. And I mean, really, I am now, since December, I have been knitting one sock a month, which
Oh,
is
One-
yeah, pretty good.
One
for me.
sock or one pair?
One pair of socks.
Okay.
Yes,
Like,
thank
I
you
thought
for
you
the
were faster
correction.
than that.
No, yeah, I am. I'm faster than that. Yeah, so one pair, and I've really people always ask me, how long does it take you to knit a pair of socks? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm guessing somewhere between 30 and 40 hours. The fastest duration I've ever done it has been like 2.5 weeks when I was testing needles and had to send the needles back. So I was like, I need to finish these socks so I can send the needles back. Slowest has been like over a year for a pair. And but now I'm seem to be getting them somewhere between like 3 to 5 weeks for a pair of socks now. And now that I'm over halfway through the year, I've made it a goal that I'm gonna do a pair of socks every month, at least until December. I'll have a year worth of them, and I might be sick of socks by then. Um, yeah, we'll see.
Or you might
I mean,
not.
but I might not. I have plenty of sock yarn, so that's fine. Uh, and yeah, and also like when I do socks, I mean, I do it. I do them for me, and so I'm a men's 13 shoe size. So I got a big old foot,
And you like them
and
tall.
I like the legs to go at least halfway up my calf. So yeah, so
Valid.
I use like the entire 100 to 120 grams of my skein of yarn for a pair of socks a lot of the time. So anyway, so it's a lot of stuff. So yes, so I'm working on that. But I also, since the last time we were together, I finished my jelly bean bag. So
Yay!
my crits and
Nice.
crits D&Dster jelly bean crits and knits
I love
jelly
that.
bean bag is all done. As I was guessing, once once blocked and stretched out and dried, the colors popped a lot more than they were just on the
Yeah.
needles themselves. Like you can actually read it, you can actually see the dice. They were kind of circles with a 20 and a 1 in them, and it works out really well. I mean,
That's very much a good example of trust the process.
exactly, yeah,
Hmm.
well, yeah. And so I can see it's about like as tall as my face, so it's like all of my dice can easily fit into it, and it still look empty.
You need more
I'm
I
dice.
was gonna say you need
You
more
I
need
do
dice.
more
need more dice. I
dice.
was like, I am probably the only one on stream who could say that. So
Yeah,
maybe, I don't know.
I just looked over at my HelloFresh box full of dice that is sitting
Right.
until I can do the display that I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
So
got a cart. It's fine.
any right, yeah. Anyway, I like it. And I can cinch it up, and it's very surprisingly similar in structure to the Oogie Boogie dice bag that can
Can't
be
imagine
found
why.
in the Disney's Tim Burton's Nightmare Before Christmas official knitting whatever book. The book that I had the pattern, the
The
thing,
big long title.
all the words in there, yes. But
If it
instead
wasn't all
of
the way upstairs, I would go and get it. But
yeah, I was like usually
I'm hop along the last couple of weeks.
yeah, usually my knitting books are over here, but because I needed to look up how to finish it off, it's in the other room now. Um, so, so instead of jack-o'-lanterns, I did that crits and niche chart instead. And so I mean someday I might like like cobble it all together as like a for real pattern and make it available, or just make the chart available or whatever. Because like you could do this, put this on a hat if you wanted to. I mean,
Ooh,
because
that would
like
be cute.
you want like to go around letting everyone know that you are like super cool with crits and knits
Mm-hmm.
on your hat. You could do that. It's a thing that can be done.
It can.
Yes. And then the last thing to talk about for me is a friend of mine a while ago, in the spring. Uh, when I saw them, they gave me a gift, and it was a gift that they got on a trip they had recently taken to Scandinavia, Norway, and the
Ooh.
gift it was a kit. So it had some Norwegian yarn, like blue and white Norwegian yarn,
Mm.
and a pattern to make these
Ooh.
cowls, to make a cowl.
Oh,
So I was like, pretty
in
cool.
Scandinavian.
And right, it's in Norwegian. Google Translate says it's Norwegian. I believe it. It came from a museum, the Alta Museum. And oh, I didn't translate this page yet. But so there's like this, I think this page is about the museum. Here's a page with a story about snowshoes and skis.
Mm.
Fun.
And historically, like when you found them in petroglyphs, like, oh, here's a petroglyph, and then people were in snowshoes and people were in skis. And I'll come back to the thing again and like see
Oh,
the
it's snowshoes.
the stranded colorwork design. It's snowshoes.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Oh,
you see,
those
yeah,
weird leaves.
yeah. Well, until I read the story about snowshoes and skis, I was like, oh, that's just a cute little design. I don't know what it is, but it's snowshoes.
I love that.
And so then I had the pattern, and oh, there's something else I haven't translated this yet. This is why I was late to the Zoom call because I was like
Translating.
translating Norwegian, reading it to Meredith. Well, I was
Be right
reading the
back.
translation to Meredith. But so here's the pattern, and I'm just like, I probably don't even need to translate this because it's like if you
It's a
look at the
chart.
picture, it's like do some ribbing, work the chart, do some more ribbing. Here's the yarn. I can figure out what size needle you use. I mean, it tells me you use a 2.5 to 3.5. I'm assuming that is millimeters,
Yeah.
not US sizing, because
No,
this
definitely
is
millimeters.
Norwegian yarn, and it's
Yeah,
exactly,
it's not in freedom units. It has to be what the rest of
exactly
the
right.
world
It's
does.
it's insane units,
Yeah.
and yeah. So it's fine, and like in here it
Oh,
says things like
sane units. I was like, I've never heard of a sane. How much is a sane?
yeah, right. But
we're
so
we're all there with you, friend.
yeah, so it just like I'm not even going to try to read the Norwegian, but I'm looking at it and I see a bunch of Norwegian words and then 124 and then in parentheses 140. Okay, that means cast on either 124 or 140 stitches depending on which size you're doing.
Right.
And then a bunch of more Norwegian words and it says P3. That's not going to be a Pearl 3 because I'm seeing later it says 2R and 2VR. That's 2x2 ribbing.
Yeah.
It's like probably like 2 knits and 2 backwards knits or reverse knits because a purl is just a
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm gonna look up and see what knitting is in Norwegian. It's
Yeah.
probably knitting.
right. And then later it says something about P3 comma 5, and I know other countries use a comma instead of a decimal point for that.
Oh,
So I'm like,
I bet
okay.
it's you do 3 centimeters of 2x2 rib, because that's just over an inch. Because 2.54 centimeters is an inch.
Because
so.
there's 8 OMGs of which I think that's awesome. OGs is I don't know what that is.
Are you
2R,
familiar
2VRs.
with the beauty of your camera being able to translate for you?
That's what I did.
Okay,
I used my camera.
That is entirely what I did when I was in Europe to like read menus and shit because we were in like 5 different languages over the course of 10 days.
It had I had the Google Translate app on it, and like just literally just pointed at it, and it was like it just showed it right up in the.
It's a beautiful technology. It's one of the only good uses of AI.
Right. So
here's the thing, knitting in Norwegian is strikki.
Strikki.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I knew that because, well, 2 reasons. One, my grandma was Norwegian.
Ah,
okay.
Both grandparents. But also, I used to watch the Netflix Guinness Book of World Record Knitting Challenge thing. It was a thing that they were trying to do. It was a sheep to sweater.
A sheep to sweater in
a shawl.
Not a shawl, but a sweater.
A sweater.
So it was a team.
Same idea.
Yeah,
like sheep to.
It was the Norwegian team, and
that's so cool.
They brought the sheep into They did it in the museum, the knitting museum.
Oh,
and they brought
a knitting museum.
There's a knitting museum.
Of course they do.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, next Crits&Knits trip is to Norway.
Deal, let's go.
I am so there for
my
that.
passport is valid for the next like 5 years.
But yeah, they brought the sheep in, and they had a guy shearing it, and they had a team who were spinning, and they had like 4 wheels, and as soon as the first bit of fluff came off the sheep, they were handing them out to the spinners, who were then spinning it right there, just single ply. And then as soon as the bobbin was full, passing it on to one of the knitters. And so they had someone working on the back, and someone working on the front, and someone working on each of the sleeves. And they just all knit the sweater together. It was like 28 hours or something.
Wow.
And
that's impressive.
The show was just the whole 28 hours.
That is so cool.
We just watched it. It was great sleeping.
Yeah.
On Netflix, you say?
Yeah.
Oh, several years ago, Netflix had an entire slow such and such stuff going on.
It was part
like
of that.
Slow knitting, slow train rides. It was like they put like a GoPro on the front of a train and was just
that was just it. It was just a train going.
Yeah, here's 4 hours of a train going in Europe or whatever. But so I'm looking at it here and I see the P3 and then later I see the P3 comma 5. So I'm 3 and 3.5, and I think what that is, it's needle size. So start with a 3 millimeter needle for the ribbing,
and then
switch to a 3.5 millimeter for
the color work.
It's got to be what it is for the color work, because at the end it does tell me to go back to 3 millimeters for the other ribbing.
That makes perfect sense.
And then the 8 OMG.
So the VR is probably Brang, which is pearl.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then R would be the knitting. Yeah, and the 8 OMGs is 8 rounds. Knit 8 rounds of 2x2 ribbing. But that's what I'm going to call rounds from now on. I'm going to call them OMGs.
I did 7 OMGs today. It was great.
My socks are 80 OMGs tall.
I love it.
Anyway, I haven't even knitted I haven't even taken
that's so
the yarn out
exciting.
of the bag, but I'm having so much fun with this already.
I love it.
So like I had Google translate the little story, and it's a story about skis and snowshoes and the history of snowshoes and skis in Norway, and that's cool. And I'm this is my life, and I'm loving it.
It's amazing. It's a good life.
Yeah, that's what I have.
I'm trying to find the video, but Made in the Moment did a video about a like bake off, but for knitting, and I'm trying to remember if that was in Norway.
I know what you're talking about. I don't think it was in Norway though.
It was some foreign country. I'm trying to find it.
All right, there, Merkin.
And of course, Finland holds the heavy metal knitting competition,
which is so
beautiful.
Cool.
So
if you haven't watched it, you need to.
I mean, given how many heavy metal bands come out of like Scandinavia, this does not surprise me at all.
Yeah. So yes, those are my goals now. I want to go to this knitting museum that you mentioned.
Yeah.
I want to go to the heavy metal knitting competition. I want to compete in the heavy metal knitting competition.
Yeah. Goals, we love them.
Yeah. That's it. That's enough for me.
Filling up my Crits&Knits trip planner, and that's it.
Deal. I finished the row, so I'm in a good place to show off what I've been working on. The never-ending baby blanket continues. It is. I am actually making progress.
It looks so good, Ren.
It's exciting. I'm very pleased with it. I'm about to finish the 9th repeat of the pattern, which puts me just under, I think, about a third of the way done, because I did math.
Yay.
God save me.
And how many skeins of yarn are you into the project so far?
I am in my 3rd skein.
Yeah.
They're like, oh God, what is? Hang on.
I knew you had mentioned that to us privately, and I just wanted to.
Well, because and the reason why I mentioned it is because 3 skeins is as far as I got. Part of 3 skeins is how far I got in the longest time that I had with it, which I can tell because the rest of the skein. Come on, camera. Fine, be like that. The rest of the skeins look like this, where they've been properly caked up.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
The 3 skeins that I had to rewind myself.
Less so.
Look like this.
Balls.
You know, I made balls out of them as opposed to cakes, and it works.
Knitting takes balls. I get it.
Man, I'm fucked then. But yeah, I did math on it. It's 252 stitches across, and it's 8 rows for each side of the edging, and then 8 rows for each of the repeats. So I should be able to get it about square in 30 rounds and 30 repeats.
Okay.
So I should be approaching the 3rd way mark here very soon.
Exciting.
Which I'm very pleased about. This is the biggest size project I've ever done. And much like the shawl that I have yet to finish, I had to try to do this 3 different times.
It looks like it has a fun drape and feel to it.
It's really nice.
Comfy.
It feels comfy, and I'm looking forward to washing it to get most of the cat hair out of it.
Most, but not all.
Well, and I also took one of my attempts at this at the iteration of this blanket was done while I was in Alaska, and so I also picked up dog fur from my brother's dogs and some Alaskan dirt when it popped out of the bag that I was working on it in and rolled across the ground. So this baby blanket will have pieces of everywhere that this child's parent comes from.
There you go.
And then a little bit from me with the cat fur. Because there's no way to get all the cat fur out. I cannot.
Nope, that is just a thing.
It's just it's the glitter. It's the glitter in the project.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's pretty much all that I've been working on. But I actually have it in like my weekly to-dos under my like personal stuff to knit at least 2 rows every day.
Good
Yeah,
for you.
that's good.
Yeah,
like that.
and sometimes I get like a full iteration of it in a day because brain.
Some days are like that.
Some days are like that. And with me being laid up with my fucking knee doing its fucking bullshit, uh,
Thank you for the obligatory cursing. I've been
glad to
falling down on
help.
my
Glad to
job.
help.
Yeah,
I got you, boo. I got you.
thanks.
With that causing problems, walking around is not much of a thing lately. So I've been sitting with my leg propped up on various chairs and just knitting, because the real reason grandmas do most of the knitting. They don't move around that much.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I've been working on.
Cool. Well,
Yeah, I see the things that you've been posting in the Discord, and that beast bean is so super cute.
Isn't it though?
I know, right? There's a bell bean too, but she doesn't have a face.
I just want to make all of the beans now and just like reenact Beauty and the Beast.
Stop motion camera that.
Yeah. That'd be fun, honestly, in my
Good.
copious amounts of free time.
Right.
All the free times.
I posted a link to the Solhus Tirkotag textile industry museet in Norway, and they're having a yarn festival in September, or a knitting festival in September, and I was just like poking around, and I got to the instructions, and it was like, turn left at IKEA. And I'm like, this is some Scandinavian thing.
I love that.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Did you hear that the president of IKEA, the CEO of IKEA, was just made president of Norway?
Really?
Yeah, he's still assembling his cabinet, but
Oh, you butthole.
You had us for a second.
Sweden, anyway.
Oh, God.
He had to reclaim the dad jokes
He did.
title.
He got me.
He got
Well,
you good too.
I just heard DB moan on that one.
Just like that elongated Gregory.
Gregamus.
Ooh.
It's all Gregamus now.
It's all Gregamus.
Oh, Gregamus all the time.
Excellent. Well, I have finished some stuff. I finally finished the first pair of the something I forget the name again.
Something dark side.
something dark side. I want to say like Arcane Warrior, but that's not right. But
Was it Dark Warrior?
it might be Dark Warrior.
Dark Force Warrior?
Something like
It's
that.
Darth Maul.
Yeah, but this is the first pair of socks from that set. So these are going to be for my husband. They're not blocked yet. I'm not going to bother blocking them until I finish knitting mine, and I will block them both together, and then I'll take cute pictures, and then he can have his socks, and mine will go into the bag of Star Wars saga socks until they're all done, because I'm keeping them all in a Ziploc bag so that mine stay not worn. They're going to be blocked and stacked, and then when I finished all of her yarns, I'm going to lay them out and take a picture of the whole sock saga.
Well,
It's going to take a while.
You know what I like about the socks, Danny, is they're both the same size and the stripes
They
match.
are. So she does the perfect pair balls or skeins, where she dyes 2 skeins together. They're half skeins, basically. And they are designed to perfectly match for people like me who need them to be perfectly matched. So it works
And
out
who
well.
pay attention to do it correctly. Not
There's-
like people like me.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I'll say it. I'll throw myself under the bus, and then I will drive the bus. So,
But yeah, these are still living in my little Grogu bag until
oh,
I finish
Oh,
mine.
can I show you the bag that I got?
Yes, please. We're very excited
Hang on.
about knitting accessories. We got it. Oh, we're getting up to get it. I like it.
ooh.
Let's. And we wait. Oh, I see something red and cute. And I'm waiting for it to focus.
And blurry.
And very blurry, as it be. Come on. Come on, camera. I know
it's
you
trying,
can
it's
do
trying.
it. Thank you. So I have not watched any of the Star Wars television shows. I have not watched Rebels. I have not watched Mandalorian. I have not watched Andor. None of them. I do not have brain space for television shows right now, but I might make an exception for Ahsoka because there is a character on there that I have been informed that I must cosplay. A short-haired, purple-haired girl or woman named Sabine Wren.
Oh.
I have been informed that I must cosplay her. Well, my friend Christine is on the Redacted Reports with me. Randomly sent me a link to say, hey, you've been talking about this, and her universe has this bag that you might want. This is the Sabine Wren bag.
Oh.
So cool.
And it's very much the, if I wanted to do a Disney-bound version of Sabine Wren, this would be my Disney-bound bag.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
And then just wear the rest of it as a casual, long sleeves jumpsuit kind of looks, which means it's going to be, and a jacket, which means it's going to be, between October and December.
Yeah.
We'll do this. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I love that. That's very exciting.
Preempt you. But I saw your Grogu bag and got excited.
Yeah. What else have I done? I have yarn. This
Beautiful.
is Polworth from Rock and String Creations, and it's not showing up quite as much purple as is actually in there, but there's purple and teal and a gorgeous royal blue and black, and the color is called Evil Mermaid. And I love it. It's a worsted-ish weight, and I think it works out to about 230 yards that I got. But I spun this myself, and I chain plied the singles, and that way it sort of maintained the color repeats. So I think it's going to turn out stripy.
That's beautiful.
And I don't know what to make with it, but it's squishy, and I love it, and I want to make something with it. So if anyone's got a suggestion for 230 yards of hand-spun worsted, because I think it's going to have to be something for me.
Yes.
Not necessarily a gift, because, I could do something for
you
one of you
hand-spun
guys.
it. You have to wear it.
Well, but we're getting to the point where I have a lot of hand-spun stuff now, and I don't have to have that for me anymore because I've got enough of it, but I really like these colors. So,
so the easy, obvious thing that comes to mind for me is a nightcap that gets narrower like a cone so that you can use all of it.
Right.
I mean, you could just make a hat, whatever.
Right.
But you use all of it, so you make it so it's like a little cone thing, and it'll flop over, and then put a pom pom on the bottom of it, and it'll like a little gnome nightcap wizard something or other.
Yeah, that's an option.
It's single skeins of worsted weight are hard to
do something
manage.
With. Yeah,
right.
but they do make good hats, and since I've got the fringe and the shorter hair, hats look better on me than they used to. They didn't really work with the long hair.
Oh my god!
Right?
Short hair changed my hat wearing life.
Yeah,
because I only looked good in cloches when my hair was long. Now I look cute in everything except the cloche.
It's something about long hair doesn't work really well with most hats, which is weird, but I might do that. And then I had the brilliant plan. Well, it wasn't a brilliant plan. It was a thing that I had to do. My craft room was getting out of control because my parents came to visit, and when they came to visit, I shoved a whole bunch of stuff in there to keep it out of the way and safe and not in their way so that they could have the spare room. And I had been shoving project bags in there, just dropping them in a pile next to the chair. And
okay, well, Danny, I'm going to interrupt you, and I apologize. I'm interrupting everybody so
fine.
often today, and it's
Interrupting house is what?
I'm so
Well-
glad I'm not the only one who thought
Right.
of that joke immediately.
Yes, yes. I just want to point out that what you are seem to be about to do is describe yourself as a dragon with a horde.
I am 100% a yarn
I'm
dragon.
just going to say it's your project bag horde.
But
So what you're saying is that we need Erasmus's hole in order to cart away everything at some point.
yeah, well, I do. So I needed to deal with the craft room. And I started recording myself because I didn't have motivation to do it on my own. I thought maybe I'll put this up on YouTube and do like the yarn organization video.
It's
Yeah.
slow organization.
Yeah. But it's one of those, I needed an external motivator, and that seemed to work. So I've got some recordings already done, and it's a slow process, but it's encouraging me to keep going. But one of the things that I realized is I have a lot more yarn than I thought I had.
Shocking.
And I had a lot more yarn in project bags that needed to go back into other places. Like I would finish a project and then the leftovers would just stay in the bag and go in the room.
Speaking my language, I got all that too.
Yeah. So I sat down and I started going through it. And I have these Rubbermaid style bins that are like 3 feet long and 1.5 feet wide and like yay deep. I've got a stack of 6 of them. And I have one that is completely full, like I have to squish it to close with like kitchen cotton. Like Lily Sugar and Cream cotton.
Right.
And I have
the crap.
Yeah. Yeah, the stuff that's not good for clothes, but it's actually really good for dishcloths.
Yeah.
And I also have this drum-shaped bag that I got years ago that's about yay big around, about yay tall, also shoved full of Lily Sugar and Cream and assorted other similar ones. And I've decided that I need to use that up. And so everyone I know is getting dishcloths for Christmas this year. Surprise!
Hooray!
But
Christmas in July.
Well, look at you go.
Wow.
I have been dishclothing.
Whoa!
And I love that some of them are see-through because it's the same
I
color
do.
as
I
my
love
green
that.
screen. But I've got a stack. And it turns out that from a standard small ball of the Lily and Cream, I can get 1 knit and 2 crochet dishcloths.
Wow.
And if I were doing just knit, I would have weird leftover bits because it doesn't take quite enough yarn. But yeah, I can get a knit and 2 crochet. Oh no,
Yeah.
half
Wait.
a knit. Sorry, half a knit because this one is 2 different skeins.
Sure. Why is that?
Because crochet eats up a lot more yarn than knitting. It puts a lot more yarn into each stitch than knitting.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were trying to use up yarn,
Rich man's knitting.
yes.
Ah.
But I think a lot of what I'm going to do is going to be crochet because while I have to pay more attention to it because I can't feel the stitches the same way I feel them in knitting, it uses up the yarn a lot faster. And the goal is to use up all of my Sugar and Cream yarn. Or at least enough that I can only have the drum instead of also the bin. So that's the thing that I'm working on. And the good news is that also gets me through my desire to start new projects because everyone is a new project.
Mm-hmm.
So I started a whole bunch of new projects and I finished them.
So Danny, tell me about your process for the knitting and the crochet. I knit dishcloth. It's been a while, but when I do, I do a corner to corner, like a grandma's favorite dishcloth pattern.
That's my favorite.
And then I have crocheted a couple, for teaching myself some crochet. Still very right. For those, I've done them back and forth, side to side, whatever.
So for my crochet ones, I'm knocking everything over. That's fine. They're 25 stitches wide, and I do a foundation chain, which I have to look up every once in a while if it's been too long in between. But it's basically creating your chain and the first row at the same time. which makes it a lot easier than trying to like go into each stitch of the chain to start it. And then these are just single crochet back and forth. Nothing fancy about them, but they're nice and dense. And I like that for like washing dishes and stuff. I don't want to feel like the knife is going to slice through my hand if I'm trying to wash it. You know?
Yeah.
I find that I like the structure and feel of the crochet dishcloths more than I like the knitted dishcloth.
Yeah, the knitted
So,
ones are a lot more floppy, which
yeah.
is fine. Some people like that, so that's why I'm still like including some of those. But yeah, my plan is to do a whole bunch of them. So you're going to see lots of dishcloths in the next little while. But I also started another project because as I was cleaning, I found I have a lot of sweater quantities of stuff that I didn't realize I had.
Ooh.
I also have at least 2 pants quantities because I still owe you some pants, Ren.
Oh, is such a strong word there.
I'm still planning to make pants for you.
There we go.
But I also found
Pants are overrated.
But knit
Not when your friend makes them for you.
knit pants.
Not when you're in Berkeley, California, and it's winter, because it rains a lot during the winter, and then you want the nice snuggly soft pants to put on.
I'm sorry, it's a catchphrase. I'm kind of obligated to say it whenever pants comes
valid.
up.
But I found a not adult sweater quantity. But a friend of mine has this adorable baby that I absolutely love knitting for. And so I have cast on, it is called the latte coat. And it's a hooded coat. And I'm making the 18-month size, but it's going to be a little bit bigger because I'm using a bulky yarn. And it's so cute. And you knit, it's seamless from the top down. It was a Judy's Magic cast on, but I did the Turkish because fuck Judy. Judy is wonderful, I'm sure, but I don't like her cast on. But I did the cast on, and I've just split for the sleeves. But once you finish all that, you pick up around the hood, and it is cabled, like a 3-inch wide cable band all the way around. And it's got paired buttons down the front. And I'm so excited to make it. And I think he is going to look absolutely adorable in it. And I have
darling.
the same yarn in a gray. And I found out that he is soon going to have a little sibling. So when I finish the the big kid green size, I'm going to make a baby in the gray because I have less of the gray. So I'm going to make the baby size in the gray, and they can be kind of coordinating but not matchy-matchy. But
do we need to make another D6? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, this is a different little one. I mean, we can.
The question remains.
And honestly,
I didn't figure it was the same one.
Mommy and Daddy are the kind that would appreciate it. This is a friend of mine that I game with, so babies will be trained to game.
You have a stack of dishcloths.
I do. I just have to seam them together.
Just saying.
I could do that.
Just saying.
But yeah, that's what I've been working on is baby stuff and dishcloths and spinning because it is Tour de Fleece. And so I do have my wheel upstairs has another rock and string yarn on it. It's pink and glittery, and I think it's something fireworks. I can't remember. It's on the tag that is still upstairs. But again, I'm not bringing my whole wheel down because that's just an event.
So you should take pictures of it and then put them in the Discord.
I should. I will try to
Instagrams.
Oh yeah, because we do that too. But yeah, I was super happy with this yarn, and it's so squishy.
It looks so beautiful.
It
really does.
After I applied it, I let it sit on the bobbin for like 2 days, and then I used my big PVC Nitty Naughty to wind it into a skein, and then I soaked it, and then I thwacked it, and I love thwacking yarn. There is nothing quite so satisfying.
What?
So
you beat it.
Yeah, you take you soak it, and then while it's not wrapped up like this, it's just long and dangly, you grab the end of it and you thwack it against the side of the bathtub. And it helps relax all the fibers.
Okay.
But yeah, you just thwack it and then rotate a little bit and thwack it some more, and you're just beating the shit out of the yarn on the side of the bathtub, and it is so satisfying.
Cathartic.
It is.
I love that. But yeah, that is the kind of yarn that if I saw it in a shop, I would immediately have like greedy grabby hands at it.
And it's softer than I thought it would be.
Because like those are my kinds of colors and I love it.
Yeah. Polworth I didn't think is a particularly soft yarn, but this has turned out quite nice. So And yeah, the stuff I'm working on right now is a Merino Stellina nylon blend. So it's super sparkly. Like I get up and I've got sparkles on my pants. It's not like glitter. It's like the long strands of sparkle, but they come out as you're spinning and they end on my pants and I am sparkle and it's fine. And sometimes the dogs are sparkle and that's fine too.
DB says that she finished the second section of the Hue Shift Afghan, which is amazing.
Whee!
Well done, DB.
I did come across mine while I was cleaning, so I know where it is now.
Are you going to start it now and give Deebles a run for her money on timing?
I mean, DB's got a head start, and I have all these dish spots to
I
make.
know.
But you're Danny, though.
Yeah, she has a head start. We also think that if you started right now, you might finish before her.
Yeah.
Or at least I assume that's what she would say if she were here.
And I do have to write out the pattern.
Sneeze,
Dave is
Afghan.
like, sneeze, Afghan.
It's not that fast. But yeah, no.
Look, who are we kidding? You are currently right now knitting that Afghan with your feet.
Oh, that's how I get so much knitting done. I can use all the digits.
Your prehensile toes are a little creepy, but I'm here for it.
But no, I do still need to finish writing up our kobold pattern. I need to do that soon. And do another test round to make sure I've got the yarn weights. And then I think DB's going to take a break from the Afghan to make a bunch of kobolds. So
DB seems pretty excited about that.
yes.
Kobolds.
I'm
Fuck yeah.
I have so many patterns that are almost ready to come out, and it's killing me that I've got to wait for like test knitters to finish things because they're finding stuff, which that's the point of test knitters.
Test knitters are useful.
They are not inside my head, so
They are like beta readers. You need them.
yes.
I've done my time in the fanfic mines.
Yep. And I'm also deep in Storytime with Silas work right now too. So I got
I saw. You sent me one of the scripts. I'm very excited.
Yes, I'm very excited about that one. I'm also very excited about the one that I wrote. Because sometimes I'm not excited about the ones I write. I feel like sometimes they're just kind of because I needed something. But this one, I like.
Oh, is this the one that you and I were talking about? Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
No pressure, but I am available for voice acting.
I wonder. We'll talk about this off stream.
Yeah.
Because it's a secret.
It's a secret.
It's not a secret. It's a surprise. Secrets are mean things that
different.
don't have end dates. Surprises have a date that people are going to know about them. So
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
yeah, I picked that up from Mama Cusses on an Instagram.
I like her already.
Yeah, she talks about gentle parenting, but she's not like permissive parenting. And
No, gentle parent isn't permissive parenting.
Right.
Gentle parenting is gentle parenting.
yeah, and their family has surprises. So they've got like birthday surprises and presents are surprises. They don't have secrets.
Yeah, you don't keep secrets. You can temporarily keep a surprise, but the intent is the surprise is always revealed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Secrets can be dangerous.
I was about to say, teaching a kid to keep a secret
Yeah.
can be very dangerous depending on the situation.
We never keep body secrets.
No.
Nope. But it's easier to have the concept with it's a surprise because there's going to be an end date, so the kid doesn't have to like be holding onto something quietly forever.
Mm-hmm.
You just
Well,
have to
that's the-
not
and-
tell Daddy that we bought him an Xbox until he opens it on his birthday. So,
And that's not just kids. Like I have friends who have very strong FOMO. So whenever I mention, oh my gosh, I'm really excited about this thing that I'm working on, but I can't tell you about it yet. Having it phrased as, this is a surprise that you will find out about, and I can even tell you when you'll find out about it.
that makes it a little
As opposed to it's a secret that you may never find out about.
Yeah.
Pretty much every bit of design work I ever do.
Yep.
It's a surprise that has an end date. I often don't know when the end date is, but it will.
At some point, it'll be done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fun. We've had lots of fun stuff and tangents, and I know that a group of sturgeon or manta rays is a squadron. And we learned things. I like it.
Beaver Squadron. Fuck yeah. Shit, piss, cocksucker, fuck, motherfucker. I'm channeling my George Carlin
trying
deeds.
to catch up there.
That's right. Like the 7 words you can't say, just for you, Deebs.
Most of what you can say now.
Yeah, most of what you can say, and some
As
of them
long
are
as you know
repeats.
where to
but
say them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
George goes into that.
Does anyone have anything else they want to chat about? We feeling content? I feel like we had a good chat today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Improved my mood.
Yay!
It very much improved my mood. So yes, thank you. I will say that the putting 3 skeins into this blanket so far is less impressive when you know that it's 136 yards a skein.
Whatever. I don't care about numbers like
Skein is a
that.
skein.
Skein
Small
is a
victories.
skein.
It's a little skein. It's a BB skein.
It's still a lot. It's like almost a
Yeah.
half a kilometer of yarn that you've put in so far.
Yeah, I actually did the math at one point, and it's like, you know,
I broke Greg.
for a full repeat of this pattern, it's over 2,000 stitches.
That's a lot of
It's
stitches.
imaginary
Wow.
systems of measurement.
You know,
With Greg and his 80 OMG round, or his 80 OMG socks. So.
Absolutely. I think I'm up to about 97 OMGs on this because
OMG.
the ball is bigger. Yeah, I got a bigger ball on this one. So OMG 97.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you all for coming and hanging out with us while we knitted and talked about stuff and we're goofy, and I love it. And yeah, we've got all sorts of links in the Discord. So if you haven't joined us, please do. I think I'm going to find the spot to invite people and copy the link and drop it into Discord. No, not Discord, Twitch. You can join us now. Please do. And yeah, we will be back in 2 weeks. We don't know yet who
I
all
didn't
of
talk
us
to you
will be
about that.
back.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. It may be another knits only, and that's fine because we're still in summer. And if any of you have walked outside, it's summer here. And, you know, some days my brain is just too melty to run a game because it's hot. So.
Well, and the game's about to get interesting.
There's a whole
There's gonna-
bunch about to happen.
Big
About
ol'
to be a lot of
fight.
stuff to keep up with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will even share a little. It's not a secret. It's not even a surprise because I'm going to share it. But I've got some outside help putting together some stuff because
Shit.
Who did you call on? And
A
do I know them?
consultant.
I don't know that you do.
Okay.
You may have
As
seen
long-
her on another stream with me. And
Look,
the other
as
one
long
has
as
his
it's
own
not
Twitch channel.
Alondra or Dan, I'm a little less frightened. Because Alondra and Dan would both absolutely wreck our shit.
I have
And now I'm
talked to
watching the
Dan.
wheels turn.
I have talked to Dan.
There it is.
Hey, look, the Patreons had a chat about GMing.
Well, and Dan is honestly like I joke about it, but Dan is a really good resource for like bouncing GMing ideas. When I knew that I was having to wrap up Fendelver and Below as fast as I was, he was one of the people that I talked to be like, how do I take 7 levels worth of stuff and put it into 4 episodes.
Yeah. That's a lot.
So it is a lot.
So what I'm taking away from this is
we're all gonna die.
It's okay for me to go get outside help before we meet together as well.
Aww.
I'm not outside help. I'm inside help.
Oh no, yeah, you're inside help. I might expand that. Yes.
Please.
Well, I will say that a lot of the stuff I talked to Dan about has already happened now. He was very helpful with coming up with some plot points for me, so I love it.
Love that.
But yeah, so we'll be back in 2 weeks, probably for a Just Knitting. And yeah, until then, enjoy your knitting, enjoy your crocheting, enjoy your spinning and your other crafty endeavors, and we will see you later. Bye.
Bye.